Speaking of money, let's talk about the economy. We're going to go down this road. Plurality of Americans don't accept government economic stats. B Money, this is actually in the description if you want to use it. A new poll on Americans' views of the accuracy of government statistics on the economy and employment shows a plurality don't think they are accurate. The Economist YouGov poll reported that 46% of Americans completely or somewhat don't accept government reports on jobs in the economy, while 42% completely or somewhat trust the government numbers. A full 12% said they don't know what to think about the question. The poll shows a significant drop in trust level towards government data. The level of acceptance has dropped 11% since the YouGov pollsters asked the same question in March. All right. Let's go to this. I want to show you this. This just happened not too long ago, but it is important with that poll.
That he did the right thing in calling for a new head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, because this shows that over the last 2 years of the Biden administration, the BLS overestimated job creation by 1.5 million jobs. Mr. President, that's a gigantic error. And I don't know if she's, I'm not
It might not have been an error. That's the bad part. If it was an error, it would be one thing. I don't think it's an error. I think they did it purposely.
Whether that, you may well be right, but even if it wasn't purposefully, it's incompetence.
Right.
That he did the right.
Oh. So it's incompetence. It's incompetence. All right. And they wonder why people all right. Still haven't tried 1775 coffee? Now here's your shot. The 1775 starter kit. You're getting the bold dark roast that hits harder than a President Trump fact check on BLS stats. The smooth medium roast and the Vitality mushroom coffee for clean energy and laser focus, no crash. All single origin, small batch, toxin free and mold free. Plus, you're also getting a gold spoon clip because freedom isn't scooped with plastic. A frother strong enough to stir up your coffee, and the liberals' idea of democracy. And a black 1775 tumbler. 170 worth of coffee and gear, yours for $99. This is for the ones who've been watching 1775 blow up on Rumble, wondering if it's actually worth it. Spoiler, it is. That's what people tell me. I don't drink coffee. Go to 1775coffee.com/studio and grab your starter kit before they're gone. Bold beans, clean fuel, and a morning routine that stands for something, just like Rumble does, just like all of us watching, all of you watching me. There you go. One that I will actually do. But let's continue. We got more things to talk about, people. Trump eyes Sue Kevin's to replace Powell as Fed chair. Pick narrows. All right. President Trump said on Tuesday that he has narrowed down his pick for Fed chair, the person who will ultimately replace Jerome Powell and unilaterally change the course of the United States. economy. On CNBC Squawk Box, the president was asked about who he would pick to hold Powell's position. The president named both Kevin Hassett, director of National Economic Board, or Kevin Walsh, a former member of the Federal Reserve Board of Governors. I think Kevin and Kevin, both Kevins are very good. He said, the president said two other people were under consideration, but current Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent wasn't among them. Bessent had been considered an ideal choice. I love Scott, but he wants to stay where he is. While the other two candidates were not named, the president took the opportunity to bash Powell.
I wanted it a year ago. I wanted it a long time ago. Jay Powell is a highly political, and I think, I call him too late. Jerome, too late. Powell, he's too late. He's too late always. He always has been, except when it came to lowering interest rates before the election, that he did.
No. Let's continue with that, monies. Let's continue with the economy. Wow. It's just been revealed that despite President Trump's tariffs, a whopping 82% of the S&P 500 companies beat their quarterly earnings estimate.
Here's a look at earnings expectations. What a chart this is. It's been a very strong quarter despite tariff uncertainty, with 82% of S&P 500 companies beating estimates so far. That's the highest rate since 2021. Here's a look at earnings expectations.
Uh-oh. Something just doesn't add up. Something isn't adding up. Now, let's continue. And this will affect our economy a little bit. Libya makes deal with ExxonMobil out the decade-long oil freeze. The National Oil Corporation, NOC of Libya, announced a memorandum of understanding with ExxonMobil on Monday, potentially jump-starting the oil giant's activities in war-torn Libya after more than a decade of inactivity. According to NOC, the memorandum encompasses geological surveys to explore 4 areas off the northwestern coast of Libya. Libya has enormous untapped offshore oil and gas reserves, added to the largest known offshore reserve on the African continent. NOC signed similar MOPs with BP and Shell this year to explore different oil fields, making its first effort to significantly expand operations since the disastrous Obama-Clinton military intervention in 2011 sent Libya spiraling into civil war and terrorist anarchy. Exactly, Mischief. Subtraction doesn't add up. Nope. Because they said the terrorists were going to hurt the economy. They said the terrorists would hurt these businesses. What the hell's going on? All right. Let's continue. Love you. Trump's tariff reportedly prompt Apple to make game-changing investment? Why? Trump pushes American manufacturing program. President Trump is set to announce another win as a result of his tariff policies. According to reports on Wednesday, he will highlight another massive investment in American manufacturing, which is expected to benefit the economy and create jobs. The White House stated that Apple Incorporated is planning to commit another $100 billion to domestic production to circumvent Trump's tariffs. Several news outlets, including the New York Times and Bloomberg, have reported. While Apple has not yet confirmed his latest plan, it has previously guaranteed that it would invest $500 billion and hire 20,000 people in the United States over the next 4 years. The technology company also plans to open 250,000 square foot factory in Houston, Texas, to produce servers that support its artificial intelligence system. Oh my Lord. Here we go. It's time to go around the world. Trump raises India's tariffs to 50% over Russia oil import. India's purchases of Russia energy are fueling the war machine, Trump said earlier. President Donald Trump is imposing an additional 25% tariff on India, lifting the total rate to 50%. Trump, writing in an August 6 executive order, said India's government is currently directly or indirectly importing Russian Federation oil accordingly, and as consistent with applicable law. Articles of India imported into the customs territory of the United States shall be subject to any additional ad volume rate of a duty of 25%. The executive order states. Last week, the president announced a 25% tariff against India, one of the largest U.S. trading partners. Additionally, India would face another penalty over its purchase of Russian energy and military equipment. But we'll get to Russia here in a minute. We got some things to talk about with Russia, but we're going around the world now. Brazil President Lula on he will handle Trump's tariffs. I will call Xi Jinping. Call him. Socialist President of Brazil, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, told reporters in remarks on Tuesday that he had no intention of negotiating on trade with President Donald Trump following the imposition of a 50% tariff on his country, opting to contact Chinese Communist dictator Xi Jinping instead. Lula also bizarrely added that he would invite Trump to COP30, the United Nations annual climate alarmism conference, because he was interested in recruiting Trump to help fight alleged climate change. Brazil is hosting COP30 this year, a summit already facing controversy due to alleged price gouging by hotels in the host city of Belém.